So today on July 17th, 2024, we had a huge fall in many tech stocks, and it actually was a result of some comments made by Trump recently. Here are some analysts on Bloomberg talking about what was said specifically by Trump, and then we'll get into that after we get their comments.
On foreign policy, that Trump suggested to you that the U.S. may not actually have a duty to defend Taiwan, that Taiwan maybe should actually pay the United States for protection. What should we make of that?
I thought it was a remarkable moment in the interview. We ended up asking, a lot of economic questions about sanctions against Russia, and we asked about Taiwan sort of as a throwaway question. And he basically came out and said, what has Taiwan done for us? We have been Taiwan's insurance policy for years. They stole our chips business. I'm just not sure it makes sense for us to, keep defending them when China wants them so badly. It was a really remarkable moment.
Well, there were a lot of them in here. And again, you can read this as of right now. There's even the photographs.
So here are some more things that were reported about this. So we have CNBC covering this as well, saying global chip stocks from NVIDIA to ASML fall on geopolitics and the Trump comments. We just saw what the Trump comments were officially from Bloomberg. And basically, they also said on CNBC, global chip stocks fell sharply with ASML as well as NVIDIA, TSMC hit amid reports of tighter export restrictions from the U.S. and a ramping up of geopolitical tensions. They also reported Wednesday that the Biden administration is considering using a wide sweeping rule to clamp down on companies exporting their critical chip making equipment to China. And Donald Trump said Taiwan should pay the U.S. for defense. So that's just kind of the summary of what was said. Now, the reason Taiwan is so important is because a Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing company, also known as TSMC, they are the world's largest semiconductor foundry and play a crucial role in manufacturing advanced chips for a wide range of technology companies worldwide, many of which include Apple, NVIDIA, AMD, Qualcomm, and many others that rely on TSMC for their chip manufacturing needs. And it's no secret that China has, implied that they might want to take over Taiwan in the future, but no one knows if they would actually do that or not. And of course, the U.S. has traditionally been on Taiwan's side in keeping their independence. But Taiwan has this company, TSMC, that is extremely valuable to many of the top publicly traded companies in the world, especially the ones, that are rising in price due to the emphasis on AI these days. So some of the top companies that use TSMC, the ones in bold, the top three there, are the ones that seem to rely on them more and maybe haven't diversified as much as some of the others, maybe that have even been around longer. So this is based on some research that I've done about, which companies are kind of diversified in their chip manufacturing and which ones are more dependent on Taiwan. And NVIDIA, AMD, and Qualcomm seem to be fairly dependent on TSMC, while Intel, Broadcom, Micron Tech, Applied Materials, and Texas Instruments, publicly traded companies that use TSMC, but also have other ways of getting chips as well. So if you look at the NVIDIA stock price, it went down about 6.62% today, which is a massive amount. You look at AMD, which is seen as one of the bigger competitors to NVIDIA, down 10.21% today. And you also look at Qualcomm, which is down 8.61% today as well. And many different stocks all across the board are down today, as you can see. You look at just about anything that has to do with AI or tech is pretty much down today. It's just the ones that are more specifically geared towards chips and AI and all of that, like NVIDIA, AMD, Qualcomm, those are the ones that are down the most. Like we're talking 6 to 10%. Whereas you can still look at something like Alphabet, Amazon, they're down 1.5%, 2.5%. Apple's down 2.5% as well. You can even look at, say, a few others like Dell being down 6.74%. So many of the major tech stocks that have been doing so well over the past year are down today. And of course, it's up to you whether you think this is an opportunity or whether you think it would be best to hold off. Obviously, if Trump does become president, you don't know how this would affect stocks like NVIDIA and AMD going forward. And also, if you look at the other side of things, there's also the risk that if we weren't going to take advantage of this day of stock prices being down on some of the best earners over the past year. And we might regret it in the future if it does bounce back and keep rising like it has been. So obviously I can't give you any financial advice on what to do here, but this is definitely an interesting development when it comes to some of the most popular stocks over the past year or two.